Welcome to another episode of Saint Vincent Untold Stories. Para Olympian Roy Chris from Saint Vincent breaks a national record twice and came third in his heat after the bill was passed in Parliament to take the job. The big man's team is now asking for comments from the general public to see how they can go forward. What a time! What he should have done first, he did last. But remember, I told you, the big man is very intelligent and he's going to pull off something smart. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon, because you are going to want to see this video and many more like this one, especially this one. Hold on to your seats. It have an old saying that a picnic when a ear of drink hot water without sugar. Let me just explain to you what is taking place in St. Vincent. It happened that we came across the pandemic and we were told to cover our faces. But it got out of control. So they introduced the jab. And most persons didn't want to take the jab. And they went to the big man and they pleaded for him to set up something different. But he didn't listen. He hardened his heart. The other side, the unions and several other organizations decided to take to the streets. But when under the streets, the big man decided to walk through the crowd during the lunch break, and someone threw an object and arrested another big man. He went to get some care and they flew him out to Barbados. Everyone was wondering why he went to Barbados for such a minor thing. So everyone was wondering, how come he's a customer to boasting about the nice service you get at the hospital and how he takes care of the nurses? When you go to the prisons to take food for someone, don't they ask you to taste that food first? So I'm wondering, if the service is so nice down there, why had to fly out? Because, if you are a Rastafarian or a vegetarian and you take food to the prisons, then you got to take something that you can taste. There isn't any doubt that we have some of the best nurses in the world. We do. Our nurses are top class. But are the structures properly maintained? Do we have enough supplies down there? Everybody was trying to talk to the big man. He was saying he didn't want to speak to this and he didn't want to speak to that. A big man. I remember I told you, just like in the Cornelius John's case, you just have to press the right button and everything would come out. Maya Martley said that she would not make the job in her country mandatory. But the big man didn't even listen to what Maya was saying. It is alleged that the regime said that the workers could be replaced if they don't come to work and they go out to march. You seen this place? It have some real kiba fish that sees on one side. And me never go compare them with Kuvali. Do you remember that I showed you a picture with a lady that was helping the big man to get in to power the time she was marching with the placard in her hand? And now, because she saw that some of the workers came out, she's talking a totally different story, saying that they are coming out and they still want their full pay. You see, the big man has some members on his team that normally puts him in the ocean. Sometimes they should just shush and keep their mullet mouths closed. Sometimes when you see persons in the comment section saying untold stories, what do you know about this and that? You think the big man doesn't know untold stories personal. I told you that already. He knows the kind of work that untold stories did. I was a sales rep. I went doorstep to doorstep. So I know most of the people from all the communities, and I could call a lot of them by their names, especially those in the red zone, north of the Gyre River. I know every one of them. You see, the representatives could know the people just like untold stories. But most of the time, when they come to visit, they stay on the main road. They only do the walk throughs when it's campaign time, and that's too long. That's 5 years. So when you hear me telling the big man that certain gaps need to be filled, you think he don't listen? But he is stubborn. You see, the thing about the Vincentian society, there are always some people who think they are too experienced, are too big to learn. But at Untold Stories, we try to learn something new every day. That is why sometimes when people drop some comments in the comment section, we normally say, yes, thanks for the update. Not everything we would know. I told you already, the big man isn't easy, So you have to study your opponent. And in all honesty, Dr. Friday, you are not doing that. That is why some people are saying that you are soft. Kenson is the man that is doing just that. He's pressing the red button. So Dr. Friday, if you ever get into power, you need Kenson by your side. You see, you guys wasn't connecting the dots properly. So I've been working on connecting the dots. Why the unions were choosing to go out on a different day? Shouldn't everybody come out on the 9th? You remember in an earlier episode I told you that I would ask Lavaman and the entire team to come out. And I would ask all the van men to come on the same day. What you guys don't really get, is that unity is a power, and that's what the big man has been doing ever so long. He has united his supporters. You see, taking the job is not a side thing. It is a nationwide thing, and the big man didn't realize that at first. He's not realizing that. You see, at Untold Stories, we are not against anyone who chooses to take the job, but it should be something of a choice. But what the big man don't really get, instead of he be saying that he's not talking to this and talking to that, why not pay some workers to go out into the communities and have a sit down with the members and say, you know what, I am going to educate you about taking the job. During the volcanic eruptions, the regime said that you have to take the job to go to the different countries that were accepting evacuees. But persons went and got the job. Then the regime came out and said that they don't have to go away again because the volcano had calmed down. So the rest who thought that they were going away decided, you know what, we are not going to take the job again. When one is looking for a partner in a St. Vincent, are they forced? Does anyone hold their hand and say, you know what, this is your future wife or your future husband? In the laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, don't they have a choice? Instead of saying that persons are creating mischief, why not have a sit down with the youths in the ghettos and those that are well educated? For example, persons like Enrica Kwashi, Adrian Odell, Untold Stories, Lavaman, and there are so much more. I walk around Kingston and reason with the public servants. There is a swimmer from St. Vincent, and he participated in the Paralympic Games. He has one leg, and he represented well. He set a record for himself, and he broke that record again. So I'm saying, when Dexroy comes home, what next? The billboards are filled with the members of the big man's team and the members of the other team. Is Dexroy going to go on one of those billboards? I'm sure right now there are youths who represented St. Vincent. And we saw that some were sent to the Olympic Games, and they must have been sitting down in their houses right now saying, you're telling me about billboard, and I say, I'll be a politician and go up a day. And I went and represented my country across the world. The entire world knows me more than the politician. But they are the ones going up on the billboard, spending the taxpayers' money to do work in the constituencies and acting like it came out of their pockets. So they are taking the credit by going up on the billboards. Mr. Big Man, you should not have passed that bill as yet. You need to repeal that and attack to the people. If he was doing the right thing, untold stories would not be talking about you so often, would have been touching different topics, but what you are doing is what we need to adjust right now. With that being said, I just want to big up the entire population in St. Vincent, the regional islands, and the international countries who are supporting and praying for us and is trying to get us out of extreme poverty, unemployment, and so forth. For the persons alleged to be involved in Mr. John's matter with the Popo, remember your future is at stake. You are going to do all those years of study to go rock back behind bars, make an out of court settlement. And I am not saying that you are guilty because I was not there. But there is evidence that a pauper was placed against his foot. The man above was placed on a cross. And he still forgave them. He said, forgive them, for they know not what they have done. So it is best you go to remand.